welcome to Money Exclusive, where we simplify money talks and make better decisions for your wallet. My name is Anna, and today we are going to be talking about something that is close to our hearts, and you probably have one at home, and that is our pets. Now, with rising medical costs in Malaysia and also pet ownership, now we'll be wondering, how are we going to make sure our pets are well taken care of? So joining us today, we have Michelle Chin. Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
Michelle is the co-founder and chief operating officer of Oyen, and today we are going to be talking about what pet insurance is all about, how it works, and what it covers, and why this is the best decision for your wallet. So hello, Michelle.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, it is afternoon. And I would love to know about you more because I followed you on social media, I think back in the COVID days, and you are a very big content creator in the space of finance, and now you're into Oyen, the pet insurance company. So I think maybe you could tell a little bit more about yourself and how did you get started going into the pet insurance?
Yes, so as introduced by Anna, I'm the co-founder and COO at Oyen Pet Insurance. I had a little life before pet insurance, I suppose. We started officially, or I can say that our first policy was sold in April 2021.
Wow, very exact. Wow,
Yeah,
that's like about 4 years ago. Yeah.
Correct. But a little bit before that, during COVID, I was kind of bored. So, and at that point of time, like personal finance became a big thing. I think people who had extra money left over and didn't have anywhere to spend it were looking to figure out how to make more money from their money, aka investing. So that's how I started Hadoit, and I guess that wasn't the beginning of my career in fintech, but boosted that a little bit. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and there was an opportunity that came in 2020 when my co-founder had the idea of starting a pet insurance business. So the story is that his family has actually been in the insurance space for about 40 plus years, 45 years this year actually. But they've always been focused in commercial insurance. And we wanted to do something that was pretty interesting and exciting, and we recall the conversation with a close friend who had 2 cats. And one of her cats had kidney disease, and she was asking why, you're the insurance people, why isn't there pet insurance in Malaysia? And although we knew about pet insurance, we didn't really deep dive into that at that point of time, but we did after that. And we realized that, actually there is pet insurance in Malaysia, but no one really knows about it. And it is very successful in other parts of the world. So we decided to just jump into it and see what happens, and I guess the rest is history.
Yeah, and then now Oyen is taking off. I think that name is very iconic and symbolizes all the pets, especially cats in Malaysia. I believe you also have an ambassador.
Yes.
That's what, Sir Oyen.
Yes.
So is that your cat actually?
It's my cat. My cat Sir Oyen.
Yeah, it looks perfect as the mascot.
Yes.
And I actually, I think it's very cute. I do like cats a lot. I just don't have one of my own because I live in a condo. But I think I would love to know more about what pet insurance really is, because pet can mean a lot of things. But what exactly is pet insurance and how does it work?
Yeah.
I
guess you can say that in the world, majority of pet insurance only covers cats and dogs. I can explain that a little bit later, but similarly for us at Oyen and here in Malaysia, we only cover pets and pet dogs. And not all dog breeds, because I don't know if people are familiar, in Malaysia there's actually a list by the Department of Veterinary Sciences. There are certain dog breeds that are actually called banned breeds. So I don't know if you know some scary dog breeds, right?
Oh, like a Rottweiler.
Correct.
I mean,
So
I'm sorry if you have an angry
They're
Rottweiler.
very cute actually. Rottweilers are so cute.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the government has a list, and there's a list of dog breeds that are banned, and there's one that's restricted. So restricted breeds are like Dobermans and Rottweilers. They are not so dangerous. In fact, they're actually not dangerous, but it is a list. So those are covered with certain conditions. But there are banned dog breeds that maybe we don't even know about, like Akitas or certain bulldog breeds. That is forbidden actually in Malaysia, but it exists. So we can't cover those dogs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen an Akita bulldog somewhere in Malaysia. Okay, we shall not call them out. Oh, but I did not know that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's very unfortunate.
Yeah,
But-
so dog breeds, like some dog breeds we don't cover, but majority we do. And in Malaysia, the majority are like poodles and like golden retrievers.
Chihuahuas, yeah.
So those are fine.
I see.
So when it comes to the coverage, pet insurance, at least for us in Malaysia, we cover both outpatient and inpatient. So maybe people have a connotation or like they don't know that actually in Malaysia for pet insurance we cover outpatient, which means that if they get flu or fever or like skin infection, they don't have to stay in the clinic or the hospital.
Right.
You can actually use the insurance to claim as well.
Oh.
Unlike human medical insurance where you have to be hospitalized to use the insurance, for us, Oyen in Malaysia, we allow outpatient. So that's a plus benefit. Like, I think it's great because it's quite easy to get the flu or fever, I think.
Yeah, I think for cats, the common illness is also the same as humans. So
Correct.
I think it's good to know that they are even covered. And I wondered, like, you know, we've seen so many people having pets. I think there's so many pet expos these days even. In fact, I think I see one a month. And I wonder why is there a reason why there's not a positive correlation between pet ownership and also pet insurance in this sense? Because I think the more you care for the pet, the more you want them to get insurance by theory.
Yeah, I think that is a very good question to ask about whether there is a direct correlation between pet ownership and pet insurance. I think there is some level of correlation between the both. But when we started pet insurance, Malaysia already had like 1 to 2 million pet cats and dogs. And the growth, although is good, like in terms of pet ownership, but it's not like extremely exponential. Right? It's not like suddenly everyone around you are getting new pets. Like they either existingly have pets or like only after their pet passes away then they get
then they get a new one.
So I don't think it may be a good measure to measure like pet insurance adoption and pet ownership, but you can try to correlate it to pet humanization. So what is pet humanization, right? Pet humanization is people treating their pet like a human, right? Like they have human names, they eat human food, they go on do human things like go to the cafe or go out to the mall.
Yeah, and they have a cradle and all that.
And they have clothes.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yes.
So I think even if you think about 10 years ago, right, these things didn't really exist in Malaysia, right? Like you don't really have a lot of pet-friendly places. Just a few, but like Desa Park.
Yes.
But now a lot of places are pet-friendly. And there are a lot more pet-friendly restaurants. There are a lot more new pet things. Like,
cat cafes.
And like even clothes and whatnot, accessories, like variety in food is a lot more in the last, I would even say 5 years than 10 years ago. I think that ties a little bit more into pet insurance where Malaysians have more spending power.
Yeah.
And also the fact that cost of living is higher, hence people are not having children. Then instead they spend more on their pets. Then we can see that correlating more to getting pet insurance for their pets because now they have extra money, but there are certain things that they can't do with it. For example, like they may not want to spend their money on having a kid, paying for their education, whatever. So they say they pour it into their pet and then they get all the best of everything for their pets, such as pet insurance.
So in that sense that it is still increasing, it's just that it's probably not like 100% correlation, but there is definitely some correlation to it. And I think you brought up something interesting earlier that you talk about how pet insurance actually covers inpatient and outpatient. Then it sounds like it covers everything. Then what would you not cover in that sense, in this case for your product?
So I think when we think about insurance, it's actually very similar to any type of insurance, in general insurance. First you have to take a step back. Like how is an insurance product created or triggered without sounding boring? So there's an event that has to happen where the probability is not 100%. That's why a company can create a product and potentially commercialize it. I will give you an example of what wouldn't make sense. So let's say pet insurance can cover vaccine. Every pet needs a vaccine. So the probability of that thing happening, vaccination happening, is 100%. So it wouldn't make sense for a business to provide you with a cover that is cheaper than what you have paid for your vaccine. So let's say I pay my insurance 50 ringgit a month. My vaccine is 100 ringgit a month.
So then it makes no sense.
So it doesn't make sense for insurance to cover things that are 100% probability. So that's why insurance companies have actuaries, right? Like, what do they do? These people who are paid so much money. They calculate the probability of things happening.
Yeah.
That's why when people, like our customers will be like, you need to tell me like how you calculate your pricing. Then I'm like, but even if I can explain it to you, it's not likely that you can understand it.
Correct.
Because it's actuary modeling.
It's very technical.
Yeah,
right?
people go study like chartered this and that in order to come up with
and
this.
we have a lot of friends who studied to an actuary and so many papers to sit. Yeah.
Correct, exactly. So it's a very complex product, and that's why, like, coming back to what is covered, so it has to be a probability of you don't know. As a human being, you don't know whether it's going to happen or not. So one thing that I can share is that the most common thing that's not covered across all insurance products is called pre-existing condition. What that means is, if this illness or this condition already happened before buying insurance, it won't be covered after you buy insurance, because the probability of it happening is 100%. Like if your dog has asthma, then you buy insurance, then you cannot claim asthma because 100%. But if your dog doesn't have asthma before buying insurance, and after you buy insurance your dog gets asthma, that's not 100%. Maybe like 10% of dogs get asthma, or like 5% of dogs get asthma. We don't know that information. And that's why the insurance company can ensure that, because they've calculated the probability of how that works for them.
So it's very similar to humans. And I think we're talking about pets, right? So even if you know that they have a medical record, most strays don't. So like if I see a very nice dog outside the street, I adopt, I may not know what conditions do they have. So how would then insurance work in this case?
Yeah, so when it comes to like adopted pets, I do agree that it's a little bit trickier to understand the history. I think as long as after they buy the insurance and like they've waited the waiting period, which is 30 days, so like you cannot have any illnesses happening during the first 30 days after buying the insurance.
Right.
And they've been okay after that, and the illness that's diagnosed is not something that historically is known to have existed before. So there's a lot of literature by vets. Okay. So it's not an assumption like we see and then you adopt it, then we're like, oh, cannot. I think that's not good for us actually.
Stereotypical, like, oh no, you cannot.
Yeah. So we base it on what is common in veterinarian literature, and we also base it on what the vet tells us. So the vet would know, for example, if you just adopted a pet and 2 months after you buy insurance, then they are diagnosed with kidney disease, it's very highly likely that kidney disease already happened before. But you never went to check on it. You never decided that you want to go and check. Only after you have insurance, then you go and check.
So in this case, then it would be excluded.
It wouldn't be automatically excluded. I think that's not fair for the customer. We will still do the necessary like investigations and like validating with the vet. Like for us, actually, we are always on the side of the customer.
I see.
Like if something has a probability of being rejected, we will go all the way to investigate and try to gather as much data to help you.
Wow.
Only if there is no way, like it's really like
you kind of just like appeal and make sure that you get the best possible care.
Correct.
Oh, that's very
so
nice.
I think like that's contrary to popular belief that like we are there to reject, like we don't want to pay claims, because imagine like a customer, like if you reject their claim, they'll be so angry. They'll be so upset. They're gonna go viral can you on social media.
Now everybody's so scared to be the viral can in social media.
We're also scared.
I totally understand. But it's not your fault though.
It's not.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, when you're in consumer business, it's challenging. So we always do our best to help. Because we don't want to miscategorize your claim. Then you'll be upset, and no one wants customers to be upset.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of customers, they love their pets so much, and then it's like so much emotion goes into it, and then if you say no, it's like, what? This is my baby. So yeah, I feel you. And definitely not a very easy journey for you in the past few years. And I think very curious to know, like, you talk about how vaccinations doesn't get covered because it's 100%. And I presume even blood tests, they're pretty expensive, right? I think 400 to 500 now. And does it get covered as well in this case in your inpatient, outpatient care?
Yes. So there are two scenarios. Scenario one is your pet is not well, so you notice like something's up with them, and you go to the vet, and the vet says, oh, they have to do a blood test in order to diagnose or like exclude like what is happening to your pet. In that scenario, there's an illness and the probability was unknown. You don't know whether that was going to happen or not.
Right.
In that scenario, the tests are covered. So whether it's a blood test or like CT scan, ultrasound, if the vet needs to do that in order to identify the problem, we can cover it. But if there's no problem, like either they do it on a routine basis,
Yes.
like every year you want to do a blood test, like how we do, right? A blood test every year to like see you're okay or not in terms of health. Or they think something is wrong with their pet, but after they go test, like nothing, really nothing at all, no problem, then those we cannot.
Oh.
Yeah, there has to be a trigger, and the trigger event is an illness.
I see. So like if it's routine, no issues, like no illness, then tak boleh kena.
Because 100% lah. Like every year you go and do it.
I see. Okay, so I think that's good to know also. And also, I think let's talk about aging pets, right? I think we check the lifespan of cats is around 13 to 17, and then for dogs it's about 10 to 13.
That's right.
So if like I have a pet that's closing into 10 years old, and then I bought insurance from you, how would the insurance cover them? Will it still cover all the way to past 10 years old in that sense, or should I be, oh no, like my money is gone in that sense? Right?
That's a good question. Similar to human medical insurance and even travel insurance, right? There's like an age thing. So there's a last age to buy, and then there's a last age to renew. So same for us and same for dogs and cats. The last age to buy is your like 10 years old, when you're 10 years old. So before you turn 11 is the last time you can enter. And the last time you can renew is when you are 13. So if you buy when your pet is 10 years old, if you continue to renew every year, you can continue to renew until they're 30. It's only when your final renewal time, they're 14 already, then you on.
Okay. So in that sense that you have up to 3 years, assuming like say I have a 10-year-old
3 to 4 years,
3 to 4 years. Okay, and that's the average anyway, right? So if they happen to live past that, it's an outlier almost.
Yeah, correct. And I think what's unique to share here, I think it's very fair. Like if I'm a consumer, I will also think like, then like only until 13, but I think they will get sick more when after 13, right? That's normal.
It's
normal
true
to assume. So I can share two things. One is actually in the world, when it comes to pet insurance, we are the highest age entry already. So in most countries, for example in Australia, I think maximum entry age is 7 and until 9.
Yeah, that's probably like their peak.
I guess so.
In some sense,
so actually for us in Malaysia, we're highest. I don't think anywhere in the world they have passed 10 years old and they continue to insure. So we are lucky in that sense.
So Malaysians are very lucky.
I think so too, but I think a lot of times as consumers, you just really look at what you have. Like you won't go and compare to things that are worse. Like humans, I don't compare to something that's worse.
But unless like you bring it up, it's like, oh yeah, wow, we're so blessed, you know.
So I bring that up when I meet people at Expo, when they ask that question. And then, only if they ask me, then they are like impressed.
Because they probably never think about, oh, my pet will live past what age, right? But then they were like, but then that means Malaysia has a lot of leniency in terms of pet insurance.
Exactly. That is the correct way to put it.
Okay. So then all the more people should be buying. But I think that's very interesting. So let me hold that thought, because a lot of people think then insurance is a scam, right? Because they wasted money, they buy it. But like what is it like? What's the value that comes with it? Like, how can people see that actually it's not a scam? Because so many things that you just shared just covers it. Yeah.
So I think insurance is such a fascinating thing. Like every time I think about it, the more interesting it is. So think of something, right, that you pay money for, but you never want to use it.
Correct.
Never, like nothing in the world, I think, that you buy, you pay money, and then you hope you never have to use it. But then when you don't use it, you feel sad because you waste money.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's very fascinating. There's no other product like this in the world. I think it's also like a personal finance literacy and insurance literacy thing. So it's normal for consumers to think that when I spend money, I have to use it.
Yes.
But when it comes to risk management and protecting your assets, it's a next level of in your personal finance journey.
Yes.
So if you think about personal finance, right? The first thing that you do, like when you start making money, is you spend.
Yes.
You spend money, right? Everyone make money to spend money. Only when you have extra money left after spending money, you think about saving money.
Yeah, or maybe investing.
I need my money that, but I cannot use it, I cannot spend my hard-earned money, I have to save, because I know that I save money, then my money will go to be more money. Then when I retire, I can use that money.
Yeah.
Right? That's level 1. Then level 3, like level 1 is spend, level 2 is save, level 3 is invest. Like I finally save enough money for like whatever I need to use it for. Now I'm investing for my future. Most people end at spend or end at save. Not many people get to invest, right? Because like you need to have extra money to invest. Right. The last one is insurance.
So it's like
all
step 4.
Finish, I have money to spend, enough money to spend, I have enough money to save, I have enough money to invest. Now I think about protecting myself, because if you have nothing, then you have nothing to protect. Yeah. So it's actually a shift in mindset that you cannot think about your spend or your expenses on insurance as I spend to use and I spend to get something. Yeah. It's a whole new level of personal finance that maybe for a lot of people, like, it's hard to get there because they haven't even got past the first 3 stages of their personal finance journey.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have the mindset when they're stuck at level 1, because they'll be like, oh, I want to save more. So what is even like investing or even buying insurance, right? It just feels like, whoa, that's just a huge chunk that I can use instant gratification right now.
Yeah. So that's a factor of like the economy and like our spending power, and it's a factor of how much money we make in Malaysia, which is not enough, right? Yeah. And not to say in other countries like people make enough. There's never enough money. We can never make enough money. We always want more. But if you see like first world countries and like people who have enough money left to save and invest, like let's look at like Australia and Scandinavia, right? Like insurance is the first thing they think about when they get a pet. Like before they get a pet, they think about insurance first.
Wow.
Yeah, they compare. They want to find the correct one for their pet. It's not about whether insurance is worth it or not. To them, it is default, I must buy.
Well, it's a mindset.
Correct, it is mindset. And mindset can also be contributed by certain legislation by the government. For example, in Malaysia, we don't even think about car insurance much because it's compulsory.
Correct.
Right? So we just pay like it's a lot of money. It's thousands a year.
Yes.
And we have to pay like
unless you have like a premium or something that you can discount it.
Correct. Like unless you have NCD or like your car is cheaper. If your car is expensive, then you also have to pay a lot of money.
Correct.
And it's $1,000 over bucks a year, and you have to pay it upfront.
Yes.
Right? Not like for pet insurance you can pay monthly.
Yeah. Or even for medical insurance for the matter, right?
Correct. So because it's compulsory, people don't question it. Where like I don't think most people claim their car insurance. So what happened to the money? Wasted.
Right? I'll beg to differ because I claim quite a fair bit.
Oh, that's good. Good and not good at the same time.
Good. Yeah. But yeah, you're right that there are a lot of people do not hope to claim for it because then their premium might go up.
Or they lose their discount
yeah, they lose it if it's on them
Yeah, but in other countries, like in Indonesia, do you know that car insurance is not compulsory?
Oh.
So no one buy one.
So if they get into accident, how?
And if they like bang you, right? Because like third party, right?
Yeah.
Well, they cannot pay you for your damages.
So they have no cash settlement, nothing, like just jalan.
No, they figure it out themselves. They have to pay that like out of pocket. Yeah.
Oh.
So if it's very bad, it's very bad. It's like total loss, too bad you lost your car.
So then you have to just bear your entire expenses on yourself. Oh my gosh, that's so painful.
Yeah, but in Malaysia, we don't think about that because it's compulsory, so we don't even question it.
Correct. Yeah. We all think about, how can we max out our insurance and how much money can I claim from the insurance? But in this case, we actually the more that you mentioned a bit, I realized Malaysia is very lucky. And actually, in fact, I think I just want to talk about MoneyX a little bit because I feel that even MoneyX, we also have insurance platforms and we also strive to tell people like, hey, insurance is actually very good for you. But I understand a lot of people, they just go like, no lah, later lah, right? I mean, I'm still healthy, I'm 30 something, what more? And then it's the same that goes for pets, right?
Correct.
But I think how often, and I'm not just like the estimate statistics, right? Like, do people actually claim OEM insurance often? Like, is this so far like what's the trend? Like a lot? Like you're like
at least half of our customers have claimed before.
Wow. Okay.
We process thousands of claims a month.
Okay, so that it's like smart choice that actually bought the insurance and actually they needed to use it.
Yeah, but I mean obviously we also have customers like myself, like I've had insurance since the start, so 4 years. My cat has never been sick. But these things are probability, ma.
Yeah.
Like, you never
Yeah, I mean,
know
yeah,
what.
yeah.
Like, a lot of people will be like, my cat is very healthy one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good for
okay.
you.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
Because we have customers who are as unlucky as, and when you have a lot of customers, you reach this probability, right? That we have a customer who buy today, tomorrow accident.
Yo.
Yeah, but we also have customers who like pay like thousands and thousands but never had anything happen to them.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't know the probability. So you cannot say whether my pet is very healthy and that will never have a problem. Maybe that may be true, maybe untrue, but we never know because we cannot calculate.
Correct.
Yeah, we don't know the probability of that.
Exactly. And I think I also want to talk about that, people claiming, right? So when they claim, then what happens after that? Like, does the insurance actually get higher? So let's say I claim one big surgery. Yeah. So what happens to the insurance?
So there's a lot of factor that goes into the pricing. So they may not even get increase.
Oh.
Yeah, but they definitely won't get a discount lah, because no claim discount you have to no claim only got discount.
Is there like an NCD version for cats?
So if you're on the yearly plan,
yeah,
right, and then like you have no claim, then you get NCD.
Oh.
Yeah, but they'll lose their NCD if they claim.
Oh,
same,
okay. So there's like a special NCD. It's so cool. I didn't know.
NCD also so to encourage people like if you don't claim, then like you don't have to.
So okay, if they use it once, then how long does it take for them to get the full discount? Like in
1 year. So like let's say this year they claim, then next year when they renew they don't get a discount. But if next year they never claim,
then so fast they refresh on 1 year only.
1 year only. 1 year only.
Not cats, cars. I'm talking a lot about cats. Cars, I think it takes like 5 years. So for cats, I think, okay, I think that's good to know. And I think that's very flexible in that sense.
Yeah.
I think I'm also very curious to see what's your outlook again for the pet insurance in the future. I think, like you say, in other countries, in more advanced countries, they are already doing it. It's almost a no-brainer. But what about Malaysia? Do you see there's a shift in mindset, when you go into expos and all?
I think we are growing quite healthily. Obviously, in our first year, it's so new. So the growth was crazy because if you think about new products, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about this marketing chasm before. So you have like early adopters, then all the way until like the mass, and then like the laggards, right?
Yeah.
When you start, like all your early adopters will buy.
So
then you will have like very like significant growth because before that there were no solution. There was zero, so they cannot even buy it. But the moment it was introduced, it's been something they're looking for. So they will buy. Then after all the early adopters have purchased and like they tell their friends, slowly with time, like we are at a stage of like mass now. So you get very different types of customers. Because people in the early days have a very different approach. Like pet insurance is so new, so they must have some level of trust, some level of belief, in order to buy something that's so new. Especially our first like 2 months. Why would you even buy pet insurance when like it never existed? You don't know who Oyen is.
Yeah.
You hope they don't run away with your money.
Yeah,
right? Like so long you never even hear anyone get claimed, but I buy. I think the first validation we got was when the first person that bought our insurance plan who we don't know. Not my friend, not my family, but someone I don't know buy. That's validation. Because someone out there
organically
found me.
and then they found
me.
you.
Obviously we do marketing and all, but they found me and they paid for it and trust me. Yeah, that's like a very
that's a satisfied feeling. Yeah,
because it's just so interesting. It's not like when you launch a new skincare product or you launch a new makeup product. Even if people don't know like how it works, if I buy this skincare product, it'll reach my home, I will use it. Then I decide whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
But when you buy something so new in insurance, right? I don't know when I will ever use it, or like I may never ever even use it in my life.
And it's so new. I think it's like probably at that time it's only less than 1 year.
Correct. So it's quite crazy, I think, but it's been a journey to get here and like get the mass to learn about this product. It's very interesting. We always have to tweak how we communicate the insurance and educate people. Because insurance is, if you think about it, it's air, it's paper. Now it's digital some more, it's not even blue paper.
Yeah, everything can like just
you're not buying
online.
anything. You're not like when you buy water, when you buy like skincare,
it's
right?
like crypto almost, right? It's like just digitalized.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you can't even touch this thing. Yeah. So there's a lot of education that has to go behind building confidence for this person, and more importantly, making sure they're not misinformed. Because people have their own understanding of how it works, but it may not be true. So how do I make sure that I tell you all the things you need to know without overwhelming you, and that you remember for the next, as long as you're my customer. And don't think that I'm scamming you. Wow, it's very hard.
It's not overwhelming, by the way, for whatever you just mentioned to me today.
I get to know.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget because there's just so much information.
I think that's why it's very easily accessible when you have it all on the website.
It is, but not everyone reads now.
Oh yeah, but I did check out your website. I thought it's very good UI. And I was like, oh, this is actually easy. And then you even had a blog for Oyen as well.
Lots of blogs, we write a lot of content.
Yeah, I think that's doing very well. And I would also like to then share a thing or two, because I think you mentioned that people have so many misconceptions about pet insurance. So what would be that one thing that you want people to know about pet insurance that they should not assume this is the truth about pet insurance and why they should get it in that sense?
Wow, I think there are a lot of myths lah.
Yeah,
but I think the one that I probably want to reiterate, which I mentioned just now, is really that we are here to help you. So people would want to think that, oh, I don't buy insurance because I will never be able to claim. Or they'll find every reason to reject a claim. And that's far from the truth, because we spend a lot of time making sure we gather all the right information and see how, if it's grey area, we'll try to help you as much as possible. And even for people who maybe sometimes this really cannot claim, right? Never mind lah, I'll help you. Or if the insurance company cannot claim, we sometimes goodwill our customer and we pay out of our own
Whoa,
pocket.
wow, okay.
Yeah, we have lots of that cases as well, especially customers who've been with us for a long time, it's their first claim, but policy is policy. If it's really an exclusion, I cannot pay legally, because insurance is a legal contract, but we will goodwill pay out of our own.
For your next level customer service.
Thank you. I hope more people, I think we have a lot of customers who know that and are very appreciative of that. But then you always have the people
who don't realize it. But I hope through this podcast that people know Michelle is really out there taking care of your pets.
Thank you. And my team.
And your team too, yes, and her team. I think Oyen has such a successful run for over 4 years, and I think all the more guys you should support. And I think this also wraps up our podcast for today. It has been a very engaging conversation. Thank you, Michelle, for making it so lovely. And through MoneyX, you can actually get a 25 ringgit touch and go pin. Yeah, true. And you see, bonus on top of bonus, and then you have such great customer service with Oyen team here. And all you have to do is just go download the app on MoneyX, and you can scroll to the insurance site and you'll get to see Oyen, and then all you can do is register from there, and then you get access to all the amazing benefits of Oyen pet insurance that you can get. And so with that, I want to say thank you, Michelle, again. I hope to see you more often and we can talk and gush about all the different pets in Malaysia. Lots of things to learn from today. And ladies and gentlemen, please make sure to follow us on social media. We have on YouTube as well as on Instagram, and that is MoneyXclusive. And that is all for Money Exclusive. My name is Anna, and see you in the next episode. Bye!